Okay, let me catch my breath for a minute because I just went up them steps. So we're going to talk about the dream that I had that was crazy. I was in I was at a family's house, and a guy was there. I don't know if he came in through the door. He might have came in through the door or something. No, he was there. Actually, I was walking in. So he was there, and it was a whole bunch of other kids there. At first, I'm thinking like, okay, they're kind of looking familiar. Yeah, they were looking familiar. I actually thought they were my siblings at first and their kids. But then, as I was talking to one of them, their face started changing. And this is where I got scared a little bit, because it's just like they made themselves be perceived as my family members. So they had like the facial hair and this and that. But then as I looked closer, it was a stranger. And as I started to catch on, they started getting strange. They started to act strangely. So then there was this guy that walked in, and he didn't have a weapon, but he came in to attack me. And before he attacked me, I grabbed a knife from the kitchen. I had a butcher knife. But I asked him before I grabbed the butcher knife, I'm like, I'm asking for the specific family member of whose house I was at. I'm like, where are they? They were like, I will drag you out across the driveway as I did them. So I'm thinking most likely they hurt them, or they what's the word they use nowadays? They unalived them. So he was like, so I just stood there for a minute, and that's when I hurry up and grabbed the big butcher knife. And he tried to attack me. I stabbed him, but the knife wouldn't sink into his skin. So it's just like, I was just like, why is it so hard to stab this person? I stabbed him again in the back, and it was just like, it was hard to get the knife to get through and pierce the skin. But eventually I got it in. And I kept doing this repeatedly until he was eventually on the ground. So I ran down the stairs, and to see who else was there.
Isha.
So I ran down the stairs to see who else was there, and it turns out it was a bunch of kids. And I'm just like, what are y'all doing down here? And who are y'all? I thought they were a part of them as they seen the knives in my hand, and I'm just like, maybe they just think I'm coming to kill them, and maybe they're just afraid to admit that they're with that person that I unalived. And they said that they were kidnapped, and each of them were telling me who they were and where they lived and where they came from. So then I told them to stay down there, and I went to check on the guy. The guy is still laying there dead. So one of the kids came upstairs, and they was sitting by the dead body. I walked outside to look around, peeking through the door screen. But when I turned around, it turns out this kid had brought him back to life, and he popped up trying to kill me again. So I stabbed him again, and he fell to his knees and collapsed. But then the little girl had given him a gun so that he could shoot me. So he collapsed, but he didn't fully collapse. So I guess he shot. I don't know, I guess he didn't get the chance to shoot me or something or I dodged that bullet and I wound up striking him again with the knife repeatedly until he was dead. And I looked at the little girl and just like, I knew y'all were a part of whatever he had going on. Y'all were in with him, in on this, but they were little kids. So that was the end of my dream. It was really crazy, but that's how much I got out of it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the listen. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Be notified and share at your own free will to show you care.